Beyond the abilities of a little baby, there is another world of power known as the Awakening. What is this? What the fuck is this? Where did Doffy pull this out from just? The Awakening. And don't get me wrong. I'm not going after Oda with this. I'm talking about Doffy right now because my mantra for One Piece is in God, Oda, we trust. I will never doubt Oda. I will never go against Oda because I know he knows what he's doing. He's proven he's a fucking god. God of foreshadowing. God of manipulating series. God of making every character develop and integral. He can do whatever he wants with this series. And I know it's going to be beast. Okay? I know it. That's why I trusted him. Even back when I thought Law was going to die. I still believed in him. I was like, even if you kill Law, it's still gonna be beast. It's One Piece, okay? I am not saying, and anybody that does say that Oda just pulled this out of his ass, no. Oda doesn't do anything like that. Oda has everything meticulously planned. He's been that way from the jump. Awakening is too early to say how it's going to affect the world of One Piece as a whole, how it's going to ripple outward, and what everything means. I'm going to spend a good portion of this review talking about Awakening and kind of theory crafting around it, but it's too early to say, okay? But Oda has a purpose for this, and Oda will show you how he tried to weave this in beforehand. It's just how he rolls, okay? But right now, Doffy, you see him manipulating the fucking buildings, turning them into string, roping up Luffy and everything like that, talking about how one day you just awaken to this ability and you can manipulate your surroundings. Like, you have a good understanding of your abilities, Luffy. You understand he's using the armament hockey to contract his muscles at will. That's basically how Gear 4th works. Alright? But what are the repercussions of that? We see Law speaking about it, we see Doffy speaking about it, and Luffy himself says it in this chapter. He's like, I only have so long left before the negative side effects of Gear 4 set in. And we've been speculating this, you know, Gear 3rd, he turned small and everything like that. Gear 2nd, he got tired as fuck. So there has to be some sort of drawback. I mean, now when he first used it, now when he uses Gear 2nd, nothing happens. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The point is, there's going to be some sort of drawback. And Law says, you know, him and Cavendish are over there looking onward, and they're like, what is this beast transformation? And Law's like, he still had an ace in the hole, but he's overusing the hockey. So that can be detrimental in and of itself. I don't know if there's any other repercussions physically for him using Gear 4th, but he's running out of time, so he goes in with that crazy Leo Bazooka at the end, and you see him, like, scrunch up. Like, it was crazy when his arms were doing it, like a fucking cat. It's like, bah! When his whole body just accordions in, and he goes in on Doffy, dude. Doffy seems to be blocking this last blow, but if Doffy survives this again, dude, after this Awakening shit is building up, because this is basically the same ending as last chapter for me personally. He uses a brand new Gomu Gomu no technique and beats Doffy with the blow, okay? I don't know what, like, after Riku's rowling speech, like, I don't know. I don't know what to think. Before I dive into the Awakening, you know, and everything like that, let's just talk about the chapter. So like I said, we had Law, Cavendish looking outward. You have Zoro and Kinemon trying to go over and stop the encroach of Birdcage. And it seems like Frankie realizes something. He's like, I never thought about stopping. It's like, wait, that means, I wonder what Frankie has planned. I trust my boy Frankie because Frankie always comes through in the clutch, right? At first I thought Zoro and Kinemon were just lost. They were running the wrong way, to be completely honest with you, because I thought, you know, it's a running gag. But no, they're trying to go stop the Birdcage. I think they could hold that big, but I don't know what the fuck is happening right now because everybody's like, the Smile Factory won't move. It's made out of Kariseki. It's made out of sea stone. And you see it folding in. Plus, Doffy's talking about the Awakening, manipulating buildings like they're his own string. So I don't know what I don't know what to tell you how far the leagues and depths of Doffy's power go. Okay, it's not something that surprised me because he does have Conqueror's Haki, so he's on that tier where he can have these kind of crazy depths to his abilities. I'm fine with that. Like Yonko, people with Conqueror's Haki, you know, Shichibukai, he falls into two of those categories. You know, Admirals. I see depths to their ability that's fine, alright? So I'm not concerned about that. What the fuck is Fujitora doing, speaking of Admirals? And I know Sabo's still on his way. I don't know what Sabo plans to do right now. I know Sabo was still on his way over to Luffy. Now that they're flying across Dressrosa, and even you got my boy Jesus, my boy Jesus looking over on onward. I'll talk about that in a second. I don't know what Sabo's going to factor in, but what the fuck is Fujitora doing? Why doesn't Fujitora just get involved? The Birdcage is about to crush the entirety of Dressrosa, and you're just standing there. Fujitora, man, I'm sure you could stop the Birdcage. I'm sure you could stop the Birdcage. If Zoro can stop the birdcage, Fujitora can stop the birdcage. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Then, like I said, you got my boy, you know, Jesus Burgers just looking on where I say he's with that sick wee laughter, dude. I miss Blackbeard Pirates in all honesty because they're so fiendish, dude, that it's interesting to have them around. And you see him watching the fight, he's contemplating himself, should I get involved or not? Koala's like, what does he have planned? You see Koala watching him, so interesting to see how that'll play out as well. But I'm really just focused on two things. The awakening and how this fight is going to play out. Because if Doffy gets up here, I still want to know what the fuck the awakening is about and how this translates into everything. Because if Devil Fruits have this other tier, because he's basically saying that Luffy doesn't have the awakening. The gears that he's been using is not the awakening. It's just him understanding the extent of his abilities. The awakening is something that transcends, that just comes out naturally. And I don't think we've seen anybody else use it, or at least speak about it. Somebody else, some other Devil Fruit user might have used their awakened abilities and just not said anything about it, not said this is the awakening. They're not referred to it as such. But if there has been, I'm trying to think back as to who, because my boy Shirohige, my boy Newgate would have done some shit like that, because I know he's on that level. I knew he was on that level. He could have easily done that. I say Marco could have done that shit. I don't know, like Blackbeard could probably manipulate shit on this awakening level, you know. Anybody on that, the Yonko, all Yonko, I'm saying that right now. And we don't know if Shanks has a Devil Fruit ability at this point. We really don't know. But if he does, I'm sure he can use it too. So it's going to be interesting to find out how this awakening plays in, if Luffy will one day be able to, you know, awaken his Gomu Gomu no Mi and have some other tier outside of the gears. Because people have been speculating for a while that gear, you know, the gear abilities will go all the way up to gear 6. Because, you know, 6 gears car, shift to 6th gear. So that was my mindset of Luffy's power-up scheme going forward to the conclusion of the series. But if there's this awakening now, how does it change the power schema? What does it mean exactly? How does it work? Is the result of Doffy, you know, using this awakening, being able to manipulate the buildings like string and use these separate techniques? Is there a drawback to it? Where can anybody think of that this has been hinted at before? Because Oda always does that, dude. It has to be somewhere, subtly. It just has to. So I'm really curious to see how it goes, in all honesty. But this needs to be the conclusion. I don't think after this shot, either Doffy gets up and Luffy powers down because he can't maintain Gear 4th, and then I don't know where we go from there, to be completely honest with you, or Doffy's defeated. I cannot imagine the entirety of Dressrosa building all the way up to this point just to have Doffy survive. After King Riku's speech just now, dude, rallied his country like a true king. He's like, fight till the last, okay? We have one more enemy to destroy. You've been living your lives like puppets under this man's reign, okay, for the last 10 years, okay? Now's the time. Straw Hat's going in. Fight to your last breath, dude. I was like, Riku, man, go in. Preach. Fucking preach. But this episode, it just has me thinking, like, if Doffy comes back from this blow, like, that shit was crazy, alright? I don't think Luffy has anything else to throw out there right now. Doffy has this awakening shit, which I desperately want to know more about. I want to hear everybody's theories about awakening, what it means, where we could have possibly seen it for, how it translates, and how it's going to affect the power scale going forward. And yeah, I need next chapter. I just need to find out the conclusion of it. Like, it's coming to an end. It's almost done. No matter how it goes, Dressrosa is coming to an end. Finally, after almost 2.5, 3, it's coming up, like, on 3 years. So, finally. Let me know your thoughts, and I'm out. Peace.